I'm Mark Hugger. Each week on Thursdays, I review 2 or 3 hands from a tournament that I host on BBO at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's a BBO Points game, so it's under the competitive tag on the home screen. It's $1.50 to play with a partner, and it's designed for ambitious beginners and intermediates. Now, the hands are random, but on the following day, Thursdays usually, I will do a little YouTube review. Sometimes I comb my hair, sometimes I don't, and I pick out 3 hands that I think will have a lesson that's in particular aimed at the skill level of our players. So please join us if you fall in that group. If you'd like to meet some new people, I'm sure you'll find partners as you go along, and it's generally a bunch of fun. And it's 10 boards, so it goes by in about 70 minutes if we all get to the tables on time. And please, you're welcome. Or you're welcome, not please, you're welcome. Thank you, you're welcome. All right, so let's go to the first hand. This has got, I like this hand a lot because of this bid. When we overcall, right, we would love to be able to show 2 suits every time. If we could just always show 2 suits, it would be a great way to overcall. This bid does just that. By Q-bidding a major, you are promising 5 of the other major and 5 in a minor suit. Okay? You don't know what the 5 of the minor is, and if North had had a chance to ask, he would do that by bidding 2 no trump, and then South would show his other minor. Here, of course, when West jumps, raises my 1 spade to 4 spades, the auction ends. Now, the interesting part is what happens next. We get a diamond lead. The first thing you do, if someone has made one of these bids against you, is you want to figure out, well, what's their minor? Here, we feel quite certain the minor is clubs, right? Because we only have 3 altogether, which means the suit is actually split 5, 5, 3, 0. And North-South had a 10-card club fit. We know that South has 5 hearts, right? We see 4 in the dummy, 3 in our hands, so we know that North only has 1 heart. Only has 1 heart. If South had led Ace of Hearts, King of Hearts, he would have had a ruff immediately. And that 1 ruff was important in this hand. Well, how are the spades split? Well, if the diamond here is a singleton, right, and it could be 3, right? He could be 5, 5, 3 with a void in clubs, but chances are this is a stiff. A good chance this is a stiff. So we know that in addition to his 5 clubs, that North also has 5 diamonds, right? So he's 5 clubs to go with the South's 5 clubs. He's 5 diamonds, leaving him only 3 cards in the majors. Well, can we figure out what those 3 cards are? Well, if South is just 5, 5 and not a 6, 5 in his 2 suits, which happens sometimes, but if we just give him sort of a default 5, 5, 1, we know that he has 2 spades. So we know that the distribution of the spade suit is 5, 4, 2, 2. Right? Obviously, South is looking for some sort of ruff in diamonds, and after a heart lead or 2, the North can ruff in spades. So my goal on this hand immediately is I just don't want to sit and watch some sort of weird cross ruff going on. So I'm going to try to get rid of spades as quick as possible. Now, the diamonds are sitting behind my diamonds, right? So he has queen, he has 10, he has 9, right? So this is not a suit that's going to set up for me, right? I can't lead at it and win. But I don't have any losers, right? Just means I can't, figure out a way to get winners up there. Or maybe a smarter person could, but I can't. So I'm going to just win it there, leaving no losers and diamonds in my hand, and I'm going to lead small up to the king, queen. When ace falls, right? Now this is where the hand gets interesting, right? So North has 1 spade left. North has 1 spade left, South has 1 spade left. He leads the king of hearts, and for reasons only known to a robot, he He doesn't continue with the king of hearts, right, which would have given him their third trick. And then he didn't continue with a ruff, right, leading a third heart, which would have set me down one. I suspect that some of our players did just that, so congrats to you for playing better defense than the robot did, because he just gave me an over trick, right? So now no ruffs are available. No ruffs are available. The king of diamonds is a winner, right? And all I have to do is knock out one more heart, and now I have two hearts, one heart here, right? When you're long in the dummy, short in your hand, and these are winners, that means you can dump losers from your hand on winners in the dummy, right? So I can dump a club, and you see that I end up with a cross ruff for the rest of the tricks. Now that's unfortunate defense. I don't know what the robots were thinking. I will tell you that when I work up these hands, I take a look at them, try to figure out a good lesson for you. I play them a few times. South has never failed to make that play. So there is some robot logic going on there. If you're a robot, you could perhaps tell me what that is. But in the meantime, I get to make +1. I get to make the contract. I get to make the contract where in the game, the people who got to the 4-spade contract all went down 1, which is where it should be. So you did good. All right, next hand. This is something you should think about doing. It happens when you are holding this is not a weak hand, it's a 10-point hand. You don't want to do this really weak, as a matter of fact. But it's a hand that seems unlikely to go to game. And you are simply trying to decide what is our best part score. Right here, I'm going to get 1 spade, and my partner will bid 1 no trump, right? Which is 12 to 14. I have 10 points. Clearly, we don't have enough for game. You could take a shot, maybe at 2 diamonds, and in an imps game or something, not giving up on game. Maybe find your partner with 14 and 3 spades, and then maybe your ace of diamonds carries the day. But right now, it seems to me that this is a part score. I'm playing match points, so I'm not going to be aggressively bidding. I'm not going to be aggressively making invitations. My invitations should all be very solid, right? And so what I want to think about instead here is what's best to play: 1 spade, or 2 spades, or 1 no trump. And this bid is called a retreat from no trump. In the Bridge Encyclopedia, it is not noted at all. It is not in this book, and it's a very thick book. But I learned this bid only because I play with the robots, right? And what it says is, it's called a retreat from no trump, and it shows just 5 plus, right? It could be 6, and it shows 6 to 11 points. So I guess you could play it weak, but it doesn't rule out having this particular hand. And I'm thinking, okay, if we're not going to game, and my partner does have 3 spades, I'm going to be really, really happy with my unbalanced hand with the ace of diamonds, right? This is a hand with that ace of diamonds that wants to play in a suit contract. Now, you'll have to learn where to use this bid, but here I think it's fairly obvious. As we can see, especially on the diamond lead, that our ace of diamonds, which had very limited value sitting by itself in no trump especially, and we probably might have had a second stopper there. Sure we did. Or maybe because the 10-9 are there, I'm not sure, right? But we have this weak diamond suit, and this ace of diamonds, which is worth its gold in a suit contract, is not so valuable in a no trump contract. So I'm feeling good about that. Next thing I'm feeling good about is my partner's 5-card club suit, right? This is a suit that with any clean living at all, right? Clean living will get you a good split on this. So keep that in mind these holiday seasons. So assuming this sets up, right? I got 5 club tricks. I got the ace of diamonds for 6, and all I really need to sort out is the spade suit. Right? So we win this, and I'm going to get to it as soon as possible. Be nice if we make it looks good. Even if the king comes down here, I'm happy. It doesn't, but let's see if we can drop an honor here. There we go. So we have the 10 of spades, I think it was out there. We got another honor out there, right? So I want to get over here to this hand and knock that out, The king fell last, so that means that this guy's got 2 of them. And there goes the jack of clubs, right? Now that club suit is set up even if it's split badly, and indeed it probably is. And that should do it. We ruff whatever comes back. And confident that our club suit is now setting up, we can ignore the hearts entirely. Play the queen. Right, the jack is gone. Play with the 10. And you have 2 more club tricks. So as we can see that on this particular hand, right, no one's bidding game, right? This is on this particular hand, and you know, if they somehow manage that they were way to a 4-spade game, then they just beat us if they played this right. And but no one's getting there. And the only question is, what was going to get me the better score? 3 no trump? I mean 1 no trump, or 2 spades. Here I took a chance with that ace of diamonds and thinking that what it was worth to me in a suit contract, and the fact that my partner could still show up with 3 spades, right? In which case we might have that. And then as it turned out, we had this beautiful club suit. So we got lucky. You're supposed to at bridge. It is a card game. And as we can see, we score 170 here. I think I did this, I played it in no trump once, and I think I made 150. I think. So board 6. In match points, you always have to bear in mind that sitting east-west here, right? I am not playing north-south. I am playing all the other east-west. And on this hand, I don't have anything to bid, but I got a 13-point hand. North doesn't have a bid, and my partner can't bid. On this hand, South is in a lot of trouble, right? They are only entitled to 4 tricks. That's all. That's all they can see when the hand starts, and that's all they're ever going to get. All right? So South may feel demoralized. Boy, I'm going down 3, right? But what determines the outcome of this hand, where every single table is in 1 no trump? What determines the result is who plays the best defense, right? If South is only entitled to 4, that's all you got to give them. That you can't give them any more tricks, because each time you give them an over trick, you can't call it an over trick, 1 less under trick, right? Then your score gets worse as you play east-west. So if you want to get good at match points, right, which is what we play in every club game, then get better at defense. All right, so I know if I give South 16 points and my 13 points, then it's 29, give or take 1. Right? South could have 17 or they could have 15. So 29 points, give or take 1. And North has not managed to transfer to a major. So he doesn't have 5 in either major. He doesn't have 6 in a minor that he could have transferred. So I'm unsure of what to do. I am mostly thinking that I would like to get out of my hand, make South, who could only have, I mean, he might only have 2 more points than me if he has 15. I want him on lead. I want leads coming through me. And so I grab the jack of clubs. Pretty random. I think the only bad lead on this hand is actually a diamond, low diamond. Lead the jack, and we see South get it with the queen. He leads a heart. Now my partner, right, there's one point, right, more South. 1 point, which means with my the 29 plus or minus 1 between myself and South, my partner has 10 points, or maybe 11. So I certainly am willing to see if he has the ace of king of hearts. And he does not have the king. So the king is next to me, to my right. The king is to my right, which means I'm going to get that queen of hearts. My partner switches to diamonds. Good play, partner. Give him a little encouragement here with the 6. He leads it again. And where do you suppose the ace of diamonds is? Where do you suppose the ace of diamonds is? Certainly, that is not the way East would have led with the ace of diamonds. So we now know that the ace of hearts is in South, the ace of diamonds in South. So I should be getting both the king and the queen. I got 3 tricks already. If I can score the king and the queen, that's 5. But I can't do anything about it right now. That's not up to me. The thing that I'm wondering about is what's going on with the spade suit. What's going on with the spade suit? And South is running out of points. He won with Queen of Clubs, I think it was, or the King of Clubs on the opening lead, right? And then he's played 2 aces, right? So he's only got like a couple more points left, 3 points left or so. I don't know that he can have the ace. So I want to catch that jack. If my partner doesn't have the ace, I'm going to look bad. And that's if he has 17 points, and South could have 17 points. So I think I start with the king. My worry now is if my partner has 3 to the ace, I don't want to play the queen first. I'm going to give my partner the ace. I don't think that's an unreasonable choice. Took a risk there that he wins ace-jack here, but as it turns out, I am lucky. South is running out of points. He has 2 red aces over there. I can't lead from either of my red suits, right? Because if I do, anyway, it makes more sense to lead the club. And the ace wins there. And so now we know exactly what he has. He has the king of hearts. I was saying that he had the ace of hearts. He has the king of hearts, and he has the ace of diamonds. And that's all he's got, right? Comes back to me. I'm going to get a lead to one of these. Yeah, here's the king of clubs. And we realized South was totally bankrupt. And by just taking our time, being patient, trying to figure out where cards were, playing defense, we hold him to 4 tricks, right? Now, were we brilliant? Not necessarily. It's pretty easy to hold him to 4 here. You have to make some mistakes on defense. And yet, that's what happens. We had only 4 of our 8 tables set this 3, right? So they shared the top, and the person, and then the 2s and the 1s, took a bad score, right? So as I said again, playing other East-West and on defense, be better than them. Just be 1 trick better than the others sometimes, and you'll end up with good scores. And that's where you can really improve your game. Tough hand for South. I guess I would say this to South. When a hand comes down like this, and you realize that you're going to get the ace of diamonds, the ace of queen of clubs, because I led the club, and the king of hearts, maybe, right? This is life. You can't do anything about it, right? Don't make extra mistakes, right? And remember that you're just playing the other north-south, and they're all sitting there with that same sinking feeling in their gut, right? So pull yourself together, play tough, and make sure that you get every trick that you're entitled to.